Thank you again for joining us today. It's such an honor and a privilege for you to take time out of your day to be with us for I Tune to Him. You know, all week long we have discussed certain biblical characters who began strong in their faith and in the purpose that God had for their life, and they pursued the Lord, and the only way they were able to fulfill that purpose and that plan was through their faithfulness and their perseverance. We've looked this week at Joseph and the challenges that he faced and the heartbreak of Hannah, and then yesterday we looked at Esther and how God brought her to the kingdom for such a time as this. And they all fulfilled the purpose that God had for their lives after years of sacrifice and going through these challenges. Sometimes our purpose and our plan that God has for our lives doesn't happen overnight. However, today's story is a little different. It's about a man that we see in the book of Acts, the 9th chapter. His name is Saul, who would later become the Apostle Paul. One day he is on his way to Damascus, and you know the story. This is the man that threatened the church. This is the man that ridiculed those who were followers of Christ and even took part in the death of some of the disciples. But this day his life would be changed forever. He's on the Damascus road and he's blinded by a light, and the Lord speaks to him and says, "Why are you persecuting me?" And he is so blinded that the Lord gives him instructions that there's going to be a man that's going to come. And the Lord speaks to this man by the name of Ananias and said, I've got a man by the name of Saul that I want you to go to. I've got a plan and a purpose for his life. And I'm sure Ananias was a little hesitant. In fact, the Scripture says that. He said, I've heard about this man. I've heard about the harm that he brought to those in Jerusalem. But listen to what the Lord tells him in Acts the 9th chapter as He speaks to Ananias in verse 15. But the Lord said to him, "Go, for he is a chosen vessel of mine to bear my name before Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel." I want to tell you today, if the Lord can use a sinner like Saul, who, as I said, would become the Apostle Paul to fulfill his purpose, how much more can He use me and you, who when we come to Him and we conform our hearts and our minds and our souls to be sensitive to what He has called us to do. Because I want to tell you, He's called each and every one of us to do something great for Him. So, very quickly, three things in this story today. When we have an encounter with God, He redefines our purpose. I want to tell you, He wants to redefine your purpose today if you've lost that and you don't know what it is. Secondly, when we have an encounter with God, we need to know that our purpose is reachable. We can attain that. We can get to that place with His help. And thirdly, when we have an encounter with God, our purpose requires sometimes for us to get realigned. How do we get realigned, Pastor? With this book right here. Because He wants us to be a testimony of His Word. And His will for our lives is His Word. So let Him speak to you in His Word today, because we are the product of our encounters with the Lord. And I pray today that you'll have a wonderful and mighty encounter with Him. God bless you. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.